Welcome to the program. My name's John McKee. You know, we consider ourselves to be video tour guides for all kinds of outdoor activities here in the Western Pennsylvania region. Today's show is no exception. First, we'll be showcasing some deep water river fishing techniques near the Point in downtown Pittsburgh. Then we'll show you some outdoor barbecuing. And finally, we'll go fishing on the Ohio River with some professional tournament fishermen. But first, please check out our commercials. You know, our advertisers are the folks that pay for us to be on the air. So please patronize their businesses and tell them you saw their commercials right here on the Western Pennsylvania Outdoor Guide.
You're a duck hunter, and duck hunters know you have to go to the ducks. An express boat can get you there, whether it's down the river, across the lake, or through the timber. With its durable, all-welded aluminum hull and plenty of room for your decoys, guns, and other gear, you can depend on your express boat to take you to the ducks.
When you have tree problems, call Ray's Tree Service. We specialize in large tree removal, but no job is too big or small. At Ray's Tree Service, we go out on a limb for you. For a free estimate, call 412-672-6456 for storm damage, emergency service, stump removal, and more. Ray's Tree Service is fully insured and is a certified line clearance tree trimmer. So write this number down, 412-672-6456. Or for 24-hour emergency service, call 412-427-1117. If excitement is what floats your boat, then check out the 2001 Lund models at Bob Warren Boat Sales. You'll make a splash with your friends and family with a new Lund boat from Bob Warren Boat Sales. We service most major boats, motors, and trailers. For boat show pricing on Lunds year-round, come to Bob Warren Boat Sales, Route 38 Butler. Call 724-285-5503. Simply the best. If you like to watch outdoor shows, then check out the Western Pennsylvania Outdoor Guide every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. right here on WBGN television. We spotlight seasonal outdoor activities in our own backyard, from turtle hunting to fishing to preparing wild game recipes and much more. Tune in and find out why this award-winning series has so much to offer. That's the Western Pennsylvania Outdoor Guide, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on WBGN television.
Our how-to man, Pete Maltese, always finds interesting people to interview regarding outdoor topics. Since we're doing a little fishing later in the show, we thought it might be nice to get some tips from an expert. So let's see what's happening on this segment of Pete's Corner.
Hi, welcome to another segment of Pete's Corner. Today we're going to be looking at how to fish the river. To show us how to fish the river is Carmine Santorum. Carmine, give us a few tips on how to fish the river. I'm talking about 20 to 30 feet now.
Okay, what most people won't do, they won't fish deep, so we have to fish deep all possible. When you fish deep, there are different presentations you can use. For a gentleman who doesn't have a real expensive boat or doesn't have the downriggers, it still can be done in Erie or Aaron deep pockets for fishing. You can expand briefly and use dipsy divers. You can also use Ward Jensen. You can also use a jet diving device, but today they get expensive. So we're going to talk about some simple presentations to get your presentation down to where the fish are in deep water, 25 to 30 feet.
Even though I don't have downriggers to get me down that deep, say like me, I have a 14-foot boat, and I don't have any of that fancy equipment on it. All I have is fishing rods. How do I get down to 20 to 30 feet?
Okay, today we're going to show you some methods called the three-way drop rig. They're going to show you a thing called a bottom bouncer. It's very, very big out west. It does very well if you keep to the bottom order, which is 1 ounce of weight for every 10 feet of water, up to 30, 40 feet. You can get down with a 3-ounce bottom bouncer, providing you don't have a 5-foot wake on the lake.
Well, yeah, and then you got the wind to contend with too.
Correct. See, the biggest problem people fish deep is they don't get in the strike zone because they won't use enough weight because they're programmed to go light. The only thing they're going light for is to get a light leader on their line, so when the fish inhale the bait or they strike the bait, they don't feel resistance. That's why it'll flow easily into their mouths to detect the hit.
All right, show me some of these things that you're talking about.
This is called a bottom bouncer. What you do with a bottom bouncer is, it's right here. It's a thin piece of wire with anywhere from 1.5 to 2, 3, 4 ounce weight. And another piece of wire to keep the presentation straight. What you do is it sinks right to the bottom, and the bottom of the wire bounces along the bottom. You then put a piece of leader and then you put your presentation. Now, in this case here, we have a shallow running crankbait. What's nice about this is the fish never, ever, very seldom see a shallow running crankbait down deep. So what we have here, we have the bottom bouncing the bottom. Hold on to that for me, Pete. We have the bottom bouncer bouncing on the bottom like this, and we have the crankbait falling behind it. And as the crankbait falls behind it, it stays in the strike zone. So you can make this leader any length you want, from 2 feet to 3 feet to 4 to 7 to 10, depending on what you're comfortable with and what's allowed. But you must use a shallow diving crank so it floats and keeps away from snags.
Carmine, I've heard you use this expression before, and I still a little leery about it. You call this stuff the magic metal. Now explain what you mean by magic metal.
When I'm referring to a magic metal, I'm talking to a simple presentation called, it's a metal spoon or a metal rocker attached with the hooks in the bottom. Generally, it's the same roll and turn. I don't use anything smaller than 3/4 to 1.5 ounces. And it's a jigging spoon. It's used up and down mode. So you contact the bottom. When it strikes the bottom, use the rod tip and play it up and down. And it works fabulous. In cold water, under 50 degrees, I've caught channel cats, I've caught bass, and bass fishermen should know this more than anything else. Metal, in the cold water situations, it's fab. This is a great lure. This one here is called a super herring spoon. And it looks awful big, but don't worry about it. Fish do take it, and Pete can attend to that. Fish do eat these things. No problem. And remember, keep deep and keep it heavy.
Let me elaborate on that. The first time I went out with Carmine, he was in a tournament. In fact, Carmine's a tournament fisherman, a walleye tournament fisherman. We went out the first day, and within 5 minutes, Carmine had a 5-pounder. And within 8 minutes, I had a 3-pounder. He made a believer out of me with this magic metal, and that's exactly what it's called. That's what he called it, magic metal. It's a jigging spoon. The way to use it is to bounce it, jig it up and down, but don't lose contact with it. You just can't jig it and let it float down. You got to keep in contact with the spoon. You got to follow it down slowly and then jig it up a little quickly. This is one of his favorites to use. People who really don't know what this is, and this is the reason why we're showing it to you.
Okay, again, like I said, folks, don't laugh at it. Just look at what fish can eat this big hunk of metal. Don't laugh about it. Try it. You might be pleasantly surprised, especially when the water is under 50 degrees. And that's the deal with the magic metal. There's other kinds of spoons. You can use a Thompson. Anything heavy, you can go up and down to simulate a minnow flash. And it works best in deep staying water with a lot of current, like a river system.
Thank you, Carmine. We'll be right back after these messages.
After the break, we'll do some backyard barbecuing. Stay with us.
If you're looking for a fishing boat, look no farther. From tournament bass boats to fish and ski boats, we've got them, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Boat Fish Fun Shop, located in Mount Pleasant, specializes in Triton, Ranger, Stroker, and Monarch boats, powered by Mercury and driven by you. Boat Fish Fun Shop is a full-service Mercury dealer with computer hookup to Mercury Parts Department for all Mercury, Mariner, and Mercruiser engines. Our factory-certified technicians offer complete service. Stop in to see us in Mount Pleasant or call 724-547-9499. If you like to watch outdoor shows, then check out the Western Pennsylvania Outdoor Guide every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. right here on WBGN Television. We spotlight seasonal outdoor activities in our own backyard, from turtle hunting to fishing to preparing wild game recipes and much more. Tune in and find out why this award-winning series has so much to offer. That's the Western Pennsylvania Outdoor Guide, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on WBGN Television. In business, image is important. First impressions do make a difference. If your business has a cleaning problem, look to the professionals at Ingram's Cleaning Service. Since 1979, Ingram's Cleaning Service offers customized, consistent quality cleaning services for all types of businesses. Our business is to maintain the image of your business. We offer periodical cleaning schedules, professional workers and supervisors, and of course, follow-up inspections. In business, customer service is important. Ingram's Cleaning Service can be a silent partner in maintaining your image as a high-quality company. For more information, call area code 412-751-7469.
We make it our business to help our customers maintain a positive, professional image. If you have a cleaning problem, we are the solution.
This next segment pays tribute to outdoor cooking. My good friend Jim Spence invited the Outdoor Guide crew over to his house earlier this spring for a barbecue. Check it out.
I prefer country-style ribs. They're meatier. You can cook them slow. They stay more tender. And I like them with the bone because the bone also helps keep them a lot juicier. So what I do, I just put them in a pan, and now we put in cider vinegar, enough to cover them, and then a little more. And now we're going to put in the spices, and I always use, and I was told to use, an obscene amount of garlic and black pepper. So when you think you have too much in, then you're just about halfway there, I guess. And so I'm putting a lot of black pepper in there. Mix it up real good. Okay, now we're going to let these soak for 2 hours and keep them in the refrigerator. But while these are soaking, we're going to go get the grill ready. Okay, now we're going to get ready to start the fire, get ready to start smoking the ribs. They've been soaking for 2 hours. They're begging to hit the grill. So the first thing we're going to do is start the fire. And what I use is a Weber fire starter chimney. This is the best invention for grillers that's come about in a long time. What you do is you use 2 full sheets of newspaper to ignite your charcoal, as opposed to using petroleum products like starter fluid. So what you do, we have our paper in the bottom. We put it on the grate for the charcoal. Then we fill it up with charcoal. Now, that holds an awful lot. It's a nice capacity starter. If you're just cooking a chop or two, or a couple small steaks, you might not want to waste a lot of charcoal. You could probably get away with doing it half full. But for our long cook today, we're going to go ahead and use a full complement of charcoal. Once we fill the chimney up, we search for our lighter. That's part of barbecuing. You have to make several trips in and out. You light it up. The wind gods are with us right now. You let all the paper ignite, and you set it down on your grate. It's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see, we have flame coming up. The charcoal is getting white. It's ready to put into the grill. Out it comes. Be careful, this is always hot. Now we spread the coals. And notice I'm only putting the coals on 1/2 of the grill. That's a very important fact. In fact, that's probably the most important thing when you're grilling, is to not fill up the entire grill with coals. If you do that, you have no control. This way, if your fire's a little hot, if your meat's cooking a little too fast, you can always pull it off to the side that doesn't have the coals. It's always important to let your grill cook over the fire before you put the food down. The extreme heat of the hot fire will kill germs. And now we're going to take our chunks of hickory wood that we've been soaking for over 2 hours, and we're going to lay them on the hot coals. Now remember, as I said, the wetter the wood, the more it's going to smoke. The more wood you put on, the more smoke. You'll develop your taste for it. So the next step, taking our ribs and putting them on the grill. Remember, as I said, we're not going to put them over the fire. We're going to put them on the side that doesn't have any charcoal. This is going to allow them to smoke very slowly. Now you try to have as much space in between as possible to allow the smoke to filter through all the meat. But when you're cooking for a large amount of people, like we are today, you have to kind of bunch them up, but they're still going to get a lot of smoke because it's going to go up over the dome. You have to do a little rearranging every once in a while. Oh, it's going to be close. Okay, that takes care of that. Okay, now we've allowed the meats to smoke for an hour, half an hour on each side. Now it's time to give it a little char. Notice the beautiful dark color. That's strictly from smoke. And now we're going to put it over the coals. We're going to leave the lid off and allow the fire to get a little steam again. Then we'll flip them over. This will go on for about 5 to 10 minutes. Take them back off the fire, and it's time to start applying the sauce. We're going to let this process take about, 45 minutes to an hour. We again have the food off of the fire, and now we start putting on the sauce. Again, it's watered down so that it'll spread better and soak in. So because it's thinner and it's going to soak in, we're going to have to continue basting every 5 to 10 minutes. All right, it's been 2.5 hours and the ribs are finished. So there's only one thing left to do. Take them off the grill and enjoy them.
The food was as delicious as it looked, and the hospitality was second to none. Next up, we're going to do some fishing on the Ohio River. Stay with us.
Turkey Duster game calls have proudly been manufactured in Somerset, Pennsylvania since 1985. By hunters, for hunters. Featuring many unique calls that have added features that you simply can't find anywhere else. These calls have been field tested for years so that your satisfaction is guaranteed. We also offer owl calls, deer calls, and hunting accessories. For more information, log on to our website at www.turkeyduster.com. For a free brochure of all our unique products, call toll-free 1-877-887-5390. That's Turkey Duster game calls, made in the USA, by hunters, for hunters.
Introducing Pete Maltese's Headbreaker Fishing System. The Headbreaker is a patented jig head that offers versatility in jigging or trolling thanks to its 2 breakaway lower sections. The Headbreaker's design acts as a rudder to stabilize the presentation and brings out the best action of the plastic tail. Each kit contains 10 minis, 5 originals, and 2 huskies. Send check or money order to Pete Maltese and start catching more fish.
The Turtle Tube Sea Anchor is the only self-collapsing, self-contained sea anchor that is guaranteed not to dry rot or mildew, even when stored wet. All safety-conscious boaters know the benefits of a sea anchor, so check out the Turtle Tube Sea Anchor today. For more information, write to the Turtle Tube Sea Anchor Company at P.O. Box 125, Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania 15145, or call 412-734-1758.
The group is called the Western Pennsylvania Anglers, and the organization is dedicated to the promotion of the area's recreational resources and waterways. They provide instructional seminars and fishing tournaments to their members. David's show took us fishing on the Ohio River. Take a look.
Well, today we're going to try our hand at walleye fishing, walleye and sauger, on what we think is one of the best fisheries in the entire nation, the Pittsburgh region of the Three Rivers. We're going to be doing some vertical jigging techniques that are specially designed for river fishing, current, and deeper water.
I like river fishing. It's one of my best That's things I like to fish. Never know what you're going to catch. You can go out any time of the day, and down here it's nothing to catch 50 fish a day.
Today we're going to be using a variety of spoons, which will be approximately 1 ounce. We're going to be using those off of hook hider graphite rods, doing a aggressive jigging technique to trigger active fish that are feeding pre and post spawn. Little is it known that this is one of the best fisheries in the nation. We fish across the country, and we're lucky enough that we actually live this close to an excellent fishery like the Ohio. The Pittsburgh region here has gone a long time without knowing its full potential in comparison to some of the other larger rivers and chains that are known. And we actually have one of the best in the country right here.
Well, one of the basic places we're going to go to today is going to be a warm water discharge down on the Ohio. And basically what I'm going to do is go on the lower side of the current and cast up into the current some either blade baits or strata spoons, and show you a technique on what I used. It's pretty good down here. Western Pennsylvania, people don't realize the river is probably in the top 10 fisheries of any state around. It's just a phenomenal fishery.
Where can you have such a skyline and the stadiums and all the work that's been done here on the river and still have such a good fishery? You have the entire Point State Park to utilize. 3 rivers where the water, can't beat it. Definitely one of my favorite places out of all of them in the country. We just happen to be lucky enough to live this close. Western Pennsylvania Anglers is a new organization. Between myself and my partner, we've traveled a lot across the country, and the fishing industry is kind of handled a little differently out west. It's a much larger economic deal than it is in this region. So we decided to start the Western Pennsylvania Anglers to help promote Western Pennsylvania, because we know the fisheries here are of the same kind of caliber. And what we did is about a year ago, we got the organization together. We have started a new walleye series. We do a lot of charity events. We basically are trying to get more people on the different water in Western Pennsylvania to get them to see exactly what they have to work with and show them that our caliber is as good as any in the nation. We're fishing today on an overcast morning, a little late this morning because of the rain. We're going to be fishing approximately 20 feet of water. Water temperature runs about 50 degrees at this time of year. It is a little high, a little bit stained on the water because we've had a good bit of rain the last few days. And what we're going to be doing is trying to fish some active fish that are going to be able to see the larger baits and the more active presentations. And we're going to be fishing some warm water discharge areas on the Ohio River, specifically for walleye and sauger.
I enjoy competition. I've been probably tournament fishing for the last 5 years seriously, and what I've learned really helped me a lot. We've been to North Dakota, Minnesota, Ohio. I fished more waterways than I never thought I'd ever get to, and I really enjoy it.
We're doing a combination of vertical and also horizontal jigging these heavy spoons in this rapid current. What we're doing is we're letting the spoon drop to the bottom, and then with a very rapid jerking motion, bouncing it off the bottom and then letting it flutter back down. And what we're trying to do is get the aggressive fish, the ones that are feeding, to actually strike the lure when they see that flash. It looks a lot like a dying shine or a dying minnow, and they attract to that. So what we're doing is either dropping it directly down, letting it hit the bottom and then bouncing it back up, or actually you can cast it out a little bit into the current and let it flutter through the current until it hits the bottom and then start doing the same motion. What we're doing is giving it a pretty aggressive jig. You're bouncing several feet off the bottom of the river. And like I said, this time of year especially, it mimics bait dying. And it's proven to be a pretty good method for us. We've won several tournaments on the river down here doing this same approach.
Well, what is that?
That is a smallmouth bass, and that's a freshwater grummer. They call it a sheephead. Let that one go back to Mom. There's plenty of these and a lot larger than that in here. These are very prevalent in the rivers here.
That's a nice thing. No matter when you're fishing here, there's so many different species in this river, you can get a lot of different fish.
I'd like to take a moment to thank Russ Grimes, owner of Donegal Marine Sales, for providing the boats that we used on the Ohio River fishing trip. Next up, we've got a special surprise for you in honor of Memorial Day. Every year, some friends of mine have a big party along the Youghiogheny River in West Newton. In fact, it's the next property down from the folks at Youghiogheny Canoe Outfitters on Collinsburg Road. My friends love to eat and party, so they had a side of beef on a spit. It was an all-day party, complete with horseshoes, fun, and frolic. They made deep-fried turkey, boiled crayfish, and fresh trout in foil packs. Great fun was had by all. I personally love the Youghiogheny River, and I go there as often as I can. This is the stuff great memories are made of.
Introducing Pete Maltese's Headbreaker Fishing System. The Headbreaker is a patented jig head that offers versatility in jigging or trolling thanks to its two breakaway lower sections. The Headbreaker's design acts as a rudder to stabilize the presentation and brings out the best action of the plastic tail. Each kit contains 10 minis, 5 originals, and 2 huskies. Send check or money order to Pete Maltese and start catching more fish.
The Turtle Tube Sea Anchor is the only self-collapsing, self-contained sea anchor that is guaranteed not to dry rot or mildew, even when stored wet. All safety-conscious boaters know the benefits of a sea anchor, so check out the Turtle Tube Sea Anchor today. For more information, write to the Turtle Tube Sea Anchor Company at P.O. Box 125, Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania 15145, or call 412-734-1758.
That's our show for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to get in touch with us with any comments, questions, or suggestions for future program topics, you can give us a call at the number on your screen during regular business hours. On behalf of our advertisers, our guests, and everyone that's helped to bring you this program, I'm John McKee. Thanks for joining us.